Welcome back.
Dude, you always get so loud.
Yeah, I know. The mic just peaked every time I click on the video. Welcome back to another episode of Brothers on the Air. You can just cut it in there if you really want to. Today, continuing our series, episode 2 of these book to movie series we got going on. Last week, if you haven't watched the episode, go back and watch that episode after this one. We did Ready Player One, which is a very good movie. You know, if you want to hear our opinion on it, maybe you should go watch the video.
Yeah.
But this week, as our second episode, we are tackling the ever famous movie made for 13-year-olds, Hunger Games. What?
Nah.
A decent series.
When I think of a movie made for 13-year-olds, I think of Twilight. Another book to movie adaptation.
Twilight. Oh yeah, it is. Twilight.
I never watched it, and I have absolutely zero interest in doing so.
No, that's when Robert Pattinson was like gross acting, and I just didn't care to watch it.
Why is it that like the fad was like vampires for a while, and then for those movies, basically that movie series like created a vampire fad, and then from there we went to zombies.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's like fads. There's like pirate fad because of Pirates of the Caribbean stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're on. I don't even know what we're at now.
I don't even know.
Garbage movies like Marvel and
no, I feel like the superhero fad is a little over, honestly, now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening now, to be honest. There isn't even a fad. There's no movies coming out. There hasn't been movies in
actually though. What is the
months.
Current fad? It's probably just like I don't know, like reality TV, but on streaming services.
Yeah,
that's not really a fad, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's... I mean, I feel like that's always there. I don't really feel like that's, like, taking a big wave.
Yeah, but it hasn't really been on streaming services, though. Like, now there's, like, original Netflix content that is reality television.
Yeah. I mean, I think, obviously, like streaming services are taking over.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole... What Disney's doing right now, like, taking an IP and making TV series like The Mandalorian and, like, WandaVision, I feel like more people are going to start doing that.
Is it this Friday?
Tomorrow.
It is,
tomorrow,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, the 15th, yeah.
So this last Friday from when this dropped.
Yeah. It's weekly, right?
I believe so.
Pretty sure it's weekly, yeah.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
That sucks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because I saw like a tweet that were like the director wanted it to be weekly so the fans could talk about it more instead of just
who directed it, do you know?
No clue.
I'm assuming Kevin Feige produced it. Anyway, this is so off topic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're talking about Hunger Games, the infamous novel series that was adapted years ago. That was a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal.
Yeah, 2014, right?
Yeah, so I think that's when the first one came out, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I actually read this series back in the day. I know you didn't, but I did. I
read the first one.
Did you?
But I couldn't get past the second one because I couldn't get like out of District 12 because it was so boring to me, and I just always gave up on the second book. But yeah, I read the first one. I really liked the first one.
I read them. I thought they were great. I really enjoyed them at the time. Again, this was just if the first one came out in 2014, then this was probably in like 2012, 2013 or so. So I was like 15, 16, 17, like right around there. So yeah, I enjoyed them, and I was pretty excited for the movies to come out. So right off the bat, I think having read the series, I think one of the best the biggest like strong, what am I trying to say? The biggest strengths of this series is for me the casting. I think they nailed the casting on.
I agree.
All of the major characters that needed like good casting, I guess you could say. I think Jennifer Lawrence was a great choice for Katniss. I think Peeta's what's the dude's name?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh, how am I forgetting this?
That guy is in.
Yeah, when I see this, I swear.
Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah,
that's his name.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. I thought he was pretty good. Peeta, he wasn't bad. I thought Woody Harrelson was a fantastic Haymitch. Super good. I I thought Gale was
Liam
cast really
Hemsworth.
well. Yeah, as Liam Hemsworth. I thought he was cast extremely well. I mean, I don't
hate
love him
that.
as a actor or even as a
I have
character.
gripes just on that character, but we can get into that later.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying that I like either characters or
No, yeah,
the actors. I just thought they're all cast really well. I think the president, both President Snow and the president of like District 13, were cast super well. I don't like the person. I don't like the whole character of the president of 13 or whatever. I thought she's super annoying. I hated her, but I thought the casting was great overall. Super big strength in my opinion of this whole series is the casting.
Yeah, wasn't this also what's his name's Philip Seymour Hoffman's like last movie? Didn't he like die right as this was coming out?
No, I should probably bring up the IMDb of this.
Yeah, I have it up. I'm pretty sure because his last movie was he died in
2014. This came out in 2012. Just kidding. The first one came out in 2012.
Oh, sorry. The last one came out in 2014, or the last one came out in 2015.
I was gonna say
he died 2014. So Mockingjay came out.
Was it?
Mockingjay Part 1 came out 2014, and then
was it 12, 13, 14, 15?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was, right?
Came out every year. Yeah. Yeah, Catching Fire came out 13.
Where's the cast?
12, and 14, 15.
Who are you talking about?
What's his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman. The second games guy, creator of the games. His name's Plutarch.
Oh, Plutarch?
He's a guy who Plutarch or whatever. He's a really good actor, or he was.
Where the heck?
He was in Masters.
Bro, I'm trying to see this dude's face, but I don't even remember.
Really? You don't remember him as a character?
Philip Seymour. Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean last movie? He doesn't act anymore? Oh wait, he died? Bro, I didn't know he died.
Yeah, I think he either committed suicide or overdosed.
Yo, I honestly had absolutely no idea. Acute mixed drug intoxication is how he died.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember him dying and it being like a big thing because they're like, oh, like he died before the first Mockingjay came out, I think.
Really?
Or like right after it came out or something, and everybody was like, whoa.
When you said his name, I recognized it, but I didn't realize it was this dude. Yeah. I honestly had no idea he died. Interesting.
Yeah. He's a really good actor. Like,
yeah, I thought he was cast well too. But I just thought of someone else. Who did I just think of?
That it was died, or did you thought of an actor?
No, that I thought was good. It was in the last movie. I don't remember. Maybe I'll remember it when we get there. But yeah, so the book series is 3 books. There's 4 movies. They split the last book into 2 movies. The series is written. What's her name? I just saw it, I swear. Suzanne Collins is the author of the series. And yeah, I recommend the series if you haven't read it. I thought it was pretty good. As for the movies,
apparently there's another book coming out.
She just came out with one. It's called
yeah, it's like about John. It's about Snow, right?
Yeah.
It's like the 10th Hunger Games or something.
Yeah, I think it was the 25th. What's it called? I need to bring it up here. I almost actually bought it to read. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Came out in 2020, and yeah, it's about President Snow and the 25th Hunger Games. So in the first Hunger Games, it's the 74th Hunger Games. And then Catching Fire is the 75th. What do they call it? The Quarter Quell, right?
Yeah, the Quarter Quell.
Anyway, all right. We're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's go really quick through each movie. And yeah, we just go movie by movie and go through it real quick. And then as we finish that, maybe our opinions overall. And yeah, so first movie, Hunger Games, 2012. Obviously, like we said, basically the same characters. Starring Vanessa Hudgens. Wow. Wrong. Jennifer Lawrence. Dude, I can't.
What the heck? Jennifer.
I can't right now. Starring Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson. That's why I was trying to say. Right? That's why I tried to. That's why I said freaking. Yeah. Oh my god, I hate it here. Yeah, kind of. It was like her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was her big break. I mean, wasn't she in X-Men already?
I don't think she was in it yet. But like I think 2014 or 2012 was like the year she popped off though. Like she was in stuff beforehand, but I like she definitely became obviously from Hunger Games like a household name.
Yeah,
And like
that's for sure.
yeah, 2014 X-Men, 2016, 2019. Yeah, I think
No, she was in
she was
X-Men
in
before Hunger
X-Men
Games.
after.
Nope, before.
Oh, was
X-Men
she?
First Class, 2011.
Oh,
So she was
so
already
like
in a big
literally,
IP, but I
yeah,
mean, yeah, this series definitely made her like so
yeah,
much bigger. And allegedly, like
yeah,
that was something. Wait, she was in Monk. What the
yeah. For
heck?
like an episode, I think I saw that.
What? I didn't realize
I didn't even
that.
check it out. I'm like, yeah,
That's interesting. Apparently, when she was offered the role, that was like a big consideration because she knew that this role would take her like into like a whole nother dimension of what she was doing, and she would just
yeah,
be like a household name like she is now.
yeah.
Um,
Which you know, yeah. She did stop acting for a bit to like pursue some personal like things.
yeah, I don't
Like I
really
think
remember.
she joined like some
She's so
political stuff.
weird,
I don't know,
dude.
but
She's so weird.
yeah, yeah. But
She's like
back
one
to
of
the
those. She's
movie.
like that actress
It's
that's like, I'm just like you. I eat pizza all the time. Like, nah, you're like worth like $100 million. Shut up.
yeah, yeah. She's like that.
But yeah,
All right,
back to the
back to
movie.
Hunger Games though. I like. I mean, the first one to me is the by far the best one out of any of them.
Okay.
I feel like that should be obvious, but like, it's my favorite one.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know. It just knows the story it's telling, and it is what it is. The other ones just are so like, bleh, to me sometimes.
My favorite's the second
Especially
one
Catching
personally.
Fire. Oh, I could not stand watching Catching Fire.
Why?
We could talk about that when we get there.
All right.
But I finished Catching Fire, and I was just like, that was a waste of my time. But yeah, okay. I mean, apart from like the whole thing of the like the beginning shot of the Hunger Games like actually starting,
Yeah.
where like it looks like the cameraman has like cerebral palsy and can't hold it still, and he's literally like going like this. Like
That
the
was
whole
on
time, and, like,
purpose.
it's shaking.
They did it on
I
purpose
know
for
it was on
some.
purpose, obviously.
Well, yeah, but they did it for some. I thought I read something somewhere that they did it for a specific purpose. But yeah, sorry, continue.
But yeah, but I mean, I just like the first one. Like I actually like cared about these characters more like most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely like I remember watching it and like getting upset that like Rue and
Rue dies.
what's his name died. The other guy from 11.
Oh,
I don't know.
Ah!
I think.
Oh,
T, but
Thresh. Thresh?
Trench?
Thresh. I think it was.
Sounds right.
Pretty sure it was.
Sounds right. But yeah, I think that the first one is by far the best one out of any of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's your take on Hunger Games?
All right. Well, I enjoyed the first one because it's the first one. I think the first of any series is always, not always, but most of the time the better one. And I always enjoy movies that I always like the whole setting up of the story and all like the background to leading up to like the main plot or like the climax of the film or of the story. Not always, but a lot of the time I really enjoy that. I like this movie a lot for a lot of that. A lot of the reason why I like this movie is for that reason. But it's still not my favorite. But I do. Okay, so for the longest time, I was like one of those people that thought that the Hunger Games would be better if it was rated R. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're literally putting like teens into an arena to fight to the death over some sort of like chasing like a peace deal, basically. Like that's like you have like the Capitol, which is like, you know, we never did a synapse of this, but whatever.
Yeah, also spoiler, but I feel like most people have either read this book or watched the movie at this point, but it's just kind of, you know, re-talking about
if we need to have a spoiler warning here, you have some issues. Like, come on, go watch these movies.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know. I watched through the series 2 months ago, probably about 2 months ago. And after watching through the series again, I don't know why I just did. I don't think the movies would be any better if it was rated R. Like, fundamentally, it's like a pretty violent like story. Like, if you really dive into it, like the actual like the
Yeah.
meaning behind the story and like what's going on and like what's actually happening. Like, yeah, that's like a pretty like heavy and violent, like crazy society. But like
Yeah.
the movie would be 0% better if it was rated R, and it would
Yeah.
be enjoyed by way less people. Not to mention, this is literally like
Yeah.
a teen slash preteen like story series. So like basically
Yeah.
aging them out of being able to watch this wouldn't
Mm.
really help that case at all. So I don't know. After watching
Yeah.
it again, I was like, literally nothing would be gained by just making it more violent. I guess you could like explain it like more like of what's actually going on like visually, you know what I mean? But like
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really have that
Yeah.
opinion anymore. Um but yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't really have any complaints about like the first movie. Besides, like it kind of gets a bit slow at some points, like towards the middle,
yeah.
a bit to me. But
It
like,
takes like what, like over an hour? I want to say it's like an hour and 15 minutes just to get to like the Hunger Games actually starting.
yeah, honestly, like one thing I've realized in this is like the main point of the Hunger Games is really never the actual like Hunger Games. I feel it's never like what is happening. It's always like on the outskirts or like these little interactions with like people is what like the actual like event of kids killing each other for sport to get food is never the main story of this.
Yeah.
Which somehow to me
Did you
doesn't make
realize that in the movies, since maybe if you remember the first book or not, but they never explain why someone would put their name in the jar more?
Yes, they would. Yes, they did.
They never explained it.
They'd get more. Yeah, they get more rations.
Yeah, but they
They
never
get more food for their family.
Yeah, I know. They never explained that in the movie.
Oh, did they not?
No. It's even on the IMDb trivia page. They never explained why they would do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, then I definitely only knew that from the book then.
Exactly. I mean, it might be
Like,
inferred,
yeah,
but they
that's
never
funny.
like actually explained
Yeah,
why.
that's funny.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting. But yeah, basically, if you put your name in the hat more times, you get a higher like food and ration and oil amount for your family. That's why Gail was in there a bunch of times.
Also, just
I do have one complaint of this movie though.
What's your complaint?
That I always, every time I see it, I'm like, why is this so crap? And everything else, like this is the only part that I feel like they like ran out of money or they were just super lazy. When they're being introduced, do you remember when they're like being introduced and they're going in on the chariot or whatever? Why does the CGI there look absolute garbage? Dude, it looks so bad. The fire looks trash. Like it looks like it was like on an Atari. Like where did they make this? It was so terrible. That part, that's literally the only part of the entire movie, and honestly the entire series that I can every single time I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know it's coming. And I just see it, I'm just like, what is this? This is terrible.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually thinking like that's actually funny because I feel like that's the only part that I feel that the CGI isn't like good.
No.
Like especially see like episode 2, I was really paying attention, and I'm like, the CGI like looked fine.
Yeah, literally overall, like overall the series is good, but that one part, it's like what the heck?
Yeah, like the fiery dresses, like all the water and like the effects, especially the second one when like there's a bunch of like every single one of those clock effect things are probably all CGI. Like maybe some of the water isn't, but like. It looks pretty clean to me. But yeah, honestly, I have no complaints about the first one. Where my complaints come is the second one, but
I saw some other interesting thing. I thought I read. I'm not gonna try and find it because it's gonna take me too long. But the first movie, Jennifer Lawrence was paid like I think she got paid like $500,000. I think it was under $1 million. The second movie, I think she got paid like $10 million. Like
I mean, that makes sense.
The increase, like the percentage increase there is insane. But the first movie, I don't know. I don't really have honestly that much more to talk about in the first movie. I don't know. It was just a solid story. It was good. I don't know, but it made $694 million.
I
It's
remember when that
pretty
movie
amount.
came out. I think I saw it like 2 or 3 times in theaters, to be honest.
Oh, really?
At least twice. Because I remember like seeing it the first time and then like pooping my pants when the dogs like jump out at you. And then I
Oh,
remember seeing it
yeah.
again with people and like knowing it was coming and I was just waiting for them to jump.
Yeah.
And I was just watching everybody. But yeah, I definitely saw that a couple times in theaters.
I'm
But
trying to remember if there's anything else that I really want to like mention in this movie. I don't know. I think Haymitch is such a good character in this movie because he's still
yeah.
like kind of on off the rails. He's not really like cleaned
Mhm.
up yet, and I thought Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson was super good in that role.
Yeah.
Apparently, Woody Harrelson's also like vegan, so every time he's like eating something, it's like like
Yeah.
cauliflower or something like weird like that. Um,
That's funny.
but
I like Effie. Like
yeah,
her like the one who picks the names. I love her as a character. She's so funny to me.
I really
She's
like
like
how they like. I like her character arc a lot.
yeah, same. I do as well.
Like at first she just seems like this completely detached from reality like person from the capital that no one
Yeah.
like respects, I guess you could say. But like by
Mhm.
the end of the
Yeah.
series it's like she's like one of them, which is super cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like she's still like herself, like maybe a little bit, dimmed down, like turned back a little bit
Yeah.
on the dial 'cause she's not in the capital anymore, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like her character arc. I think it's super good.
I like her as well. All right, moving on to the second one.
All right, Catching Fire.
The second one?
Yo, well, wait. We didn't do this for the
Whoa,
first
whoa.
one, so just give us a quick synapse.
As quick synapse. All right, Peter, Malark, and Katniss Everdeen obviously are coming from a victory in the Hunger Games, and it starts by them doing a victory lap around all the districts and being like, "Oh, the capital is so lovely. They're so good for letting us live and kill each other," and Snow's trying to like stop them from causing an uprising because like obviously she incited some amount of like resistance and rebellions. And so while they're doing like that whole tour, basically like doing propaganda for the capital, she's trying to like Snow is trying to force her to like keep that down. And then he realized that they can't, so he's like, you know what? For the 75th Hunger Games that's coming up, we're gonna reuse the winners of the past Hunger Games. So obviously, Peeta and Katniss, by just godly writing, get thrown back into it, and they're just fighting against other winners. And the whole time through the Hunger Games starting, there's a little plot to get Katniss out alive and start a revolution, and a bunch of the what's it called? The contestants are in on it without Katniss knowing, and you don't really know it until right at the end of the movie. But a lot of boring stuff happens, and then she gets out, and it basically is just a cliffhanger for the last 2 movies. And going back on this, how boring of a movie is Catching Fire?
I liked it. I liked this movie.
Gosh,
I thought,
okay.
I like this movie because I remember reading the book, and like at the end of like finishing the book, because it ends just like the movie does, where like stuff just happens and you have no idea what's going on, and it just ends.
Yeah.
But like I think the movie's like that, right? It just cuts off, right?
Yeah.
Nothing happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
no, she like wakes up. She like shoots the top of the dome and it comes down, and then she wakes up in the plane, and they're like,
they're like talking, right? And then she walks in.
Yeah, and they're like, we couldn't like tell you anything, and Peeta's been captured. And she's like, and then it like cuts to the next one.
I think in the book,
it's like so dumb.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure in the book, like the explosion or whatever happens, and then it just ends.
I feel like that's better, honestly.
Right? I agree. But
yeah,
I enjoy this movie a lot. Actually, I thought the whole like plot twist of bringing in old winners was crazy to me. I thought it was cool. I thought it was an interesting way of going about it.
I think there are aspects of this movie that are like cool. Like that is cool. I like the look of the Hunger Games in this one, like the arena better than the first one.
Yeah.
Just because it's cool with the aspect of like the water and the clock thing. But I hate that like there literally is nobody fighting each other in this movie except for like 2 scenes, and the rest of the movie is just all the contestants running from like smoke or like monkeys out of nowhere, or blood is raining from the sky, or a massive wave. Like more than half the movie, there's like you see people die right in the beginning when they're all running towards like the cornucopia, and then you see people die when they like storm them in the middle when they go back to the cornucopia, and they just like come out of the water, and they like
Yeah.
2 people die there, and then they spin it, and that's it. The rest of it is them running from natural disasters, which is so incredibly boring.
I don't think it's
Like
that
watching
boring.
4
I
people
thought it
run
was
through the
pretty good.
forest with, I just so boring to me. Like I'm here to like see these people fight, and now I'm just like watching them just run from.
No, but even you
and,
just
like,
said before that the movie and the story is not about the people fighting. It's about everything else going on. You literally just said that.
Also,
I could timestamp it. I'm gonna timestamp it right here, dude.
I agree, but that doesn't make it interesting, Thomas. It still doesn't make it interesting. How much of a throwaway character? This movie, I think I said it before, but this literally just shines light on like problems that were probably kind of happening in the first movie, but like you didn't really tell into the second one. How boring is Gale as a character? Liam Hemsworth, is that his name?
Hemsworth,
right?
yeah.
Liam Hemsworth. Yeah. His character is so pointless. Like he's literally just like a love interest for like 2 minutes while she's there, and then the second Katniss leaves, she's like in love with Peeta all over again. And like I don't get why it's so back and forth. It's so weird. Like when they're in District 12, she's like so cold. And then they enter the arena, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I fell in love with Peeta again. Like I need to save him." And then like at the end of the movie, when he's not saved, she like almost kills somebody, and I'm like, "What just happened?"
I don't. That's no. Well, yeah, okay. I feel like there's a lot going on there. I think Gale is like just a friend that's been around and supported her and her family for years and understands her on a level that no one else will. But Peeta's like the person that she literally went to like hell and back with. So I mean, I don't. I think going into like beginning of this movie, I don't think she has any. I don't know, for lack of a better word, feelings toward Peeta compared to like Gale because of that. But again, the only reason that she's alive is because of him,
which I get.
And
but like,
I feel like because of that, she feels some sort of like, what's the word? I don't know. Not necessarily regret, but like she like owes him in a way because that he is the only reason why she is alive.
I don't agree with that. Like maybe in the beginning, but towards the end of the movie and then leading into the last ones, she like the whole plan was to get Peeta out alive, not her. When she got out alive and Peeta got captured, she was like super sad and really just like distraught, and like wouldn't be the District 13's like mocking Jay until like they knew that they would go in and like rescue Peeta, and like then she like, and then the like ending part of Mockingjay.
Are we on that now?
Yeah, well, it's just okay. All of this just leads to like this movie. Just it doesn't need to be. This movie was like just if you deleted like half this movie, nothing would change.
That's not true.
Like it's just so.
That's not true at all.
It's so dumb.
Nah.
Literally, all this movie was like kind of like shifting it. No, it was literally 2.5 hours of shifting the plot slightly so you could get into Mockingjay. Like,
nah, I have to massively disagree with you.
No,
because here's the thing. Here's the thing. So, if you don't know, and obviously you know, but if you don't know, when the Hunger Games, like in the Hunger Games, there's only supposed to be one victor, but they like cheated and threatened to kill both of themselves with like some poisonous berries or whatever in the first one, and then they announced that both of them are the winners, right? So that was like a huge rebellion, for lack of a better word, or like it was a spark to, not to quote Star Wars here, but it was a spark that lit the fire to lead to the burning down of the Capitol, basically. But that was all the first one was a spark. But you need a little bit more than a spark. Obviously, there was a little bit of rebellion throughout all the districts. That's why they went on the whole tour to kind of like tampen it down or whatever, right? In the beginning of the movie. Right? Am I on track here?
Yeah.
But this whole movie and this whole story, the middle story, is to transfer from a spark to a full-on raging fire rebellion. Because, like, obviously people understand when they're going around that, like, hey, this isn't real. And they, like, kind of showed that when they went to, was it 11, I think? Where they, like, beat the crap out of the old dude?
Yeah, and they killed him. Yeah, it was 11.
Yeah. So kind of showed that, but I still don't think there was like enough to like push anyone to do so, to like actually rebel. So I feel like this whole story and getting her out and then like going further than just a spark is what the whole point
Yeah,
of this whole story was.
like I understand that, but not even in this movie was this movie wasn't where the next spark came in. It was Mockingjay when the
I
spark came
think
in.
nah. I think no. Okay,
Yes,
no. I
it was
think blowing
literally
up, dude. They literally blew up the arena where all this was
it does,
supposed to go down. Where they were supposed to all die. Half of them got out.
yeah. Thomas Mockingjay straight up said like,
Nah,
"Oh, there's been
listen.
riots, but they're
If you want to talk about a
choosing to
useless
fight against
movie,
it."
Mockingjay Part One is a useless movie.
I mean, I can't really like argue against that. Honestly, the back end of
Exactly,
this
because
trilogy, just the back end of this trilogy is pretty lame and pretty very slow.
okay, yeah, okay.
Dude, like,
It's like
I mean,
I
the only reason
understand why they dragged it out because the second one made another 200 million more than the first one.
they didn't need to.
They
That's like it's
definitely
just
didn't need to. I
they like
think
ruin. I mean,
the third movie, part one, was I think it was an hour and a half. If they had made that movie 2 hours and cut out half an hour of garbage from they didn't need to make, then they could have made the whole last book one
yeah,
movie instead of splitting it into two. I understand why they did it. I don't necessarily agree because I think Mockingjay Part One is hella boring. No, okay, maybe not boring, but just
yeah.
kind of useless. It was just a lot of filler. But I cannot disagree with you more that this movie was a bad movie.
No, this movie to me just felt like so much filler and just so much like, just like so slow. The pacing in this movie was so slow.
I mean, again, it was like an hour and 15 minutes of setting up the games, and then it was like half an hour of the games actually happening and breaking out.
But not even like in the games. Like the games itself was also just so slow because there was like no like survival aspect apart from like they were
I
instead of like
mean,
Katniss
there
running by
was.
herself like in the first one. Okay, Katniss is like by herself in the first one, right? And she's like being hunted. So that's kind of like more interesting. And also it's the first one, so like they can throw things in like
I don't really think it
fire
was that
burning down
interesting.
half the place. But this one is like, okay, four people are a team, right? There's like excitement in the beginning of the game starting.
Okay,
So
but
you kind of have
what are you wanting other than like trying to survive off of all the things that they're throwing at them? Like what are you
like
left
an
to
actual like
desire?
Hunger Games
Okay, but
or like
okay, let's think
something
about back to the
more.
first one
But this
then.
movie is so boring.
Okay, let's think
Thomas.
about back
This
to the
movie
first one
is
then.
so
When was a
boring.
good time that they were actually fighting? Because I would
When was a good
argue,
time that they were fighting?
yeah, what is a good fight scene? Because I would argue there's maybe 2 minutes, a solid 2 minutes of actual like hand-to-hand combat in the first movie. Maybe. I bet you if you took out a stopwatch, it's less than 2 minutes.
There, I mean, fighting, yes, but also like survival. There's like her going to like the There's her and Rue first of all,
Okay.
which is one scene. There's the beginning of her like so the starting of the Hunger Games, which is in this one and the second one are both entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Like the Hunger Games are starting, they're trying to survive, they're running away, people are dying. That's fun. She goes away, she's being hunted by people, and then she like has to saw off like a branch thing, which is just like while people are kind of below her, which is while also like being stung by the bees, which is just kind of like uh not like fighting in a sense, but you're like, what is gonna happen?
Sure.
That not as it's not really that entertaining that scene, but it's like what is the word I'm looking for?
Thrilling.
Thrilling, sure, yeah. That's like a scene. Then they're
Wow.
her meeting Rue and her like saving Rue, then going to blow up the food source, and then coming back and Rue dying, and then her finding Peta and gonna go have to save Peta and get the pack while also running into Thresh and that fox dying, and then her running away, and then her being chased by dogs into the what's it called?
Cornucopia.
Into the cornucopia, and then her fighting that one guy. This one is like the thing they did in the first one when they used fire and dogs. I like what they did there because it wasn't just like them fighting against them. It was like they were using it to kind of push people towards people, right? Like they got the dogs to either A, kill them or just push them towards a cornucopia.
Well, yeah, but the first Hunger Games is in like the first movie. was like so different in the tone of this, in the societal tone and situation and context in the story.
Sure.
Because in the first one was just a normal Hunger Games. Nothing was different. They were just doing their normal basic thing, right? The second one was to be a lesson / a statement. It was a statement and a lesson to the masses, right? So they're literally taking like people that had won, their idols, for example, or like, you know, like the top of society that's not in the capital, and bringing them back down to reality and being like, hey, you guys want to rebel? Then we're just gonna kill all the people you really care about. That's what they're doing, because they have the winners of this like crazy thing that everyone waits around for and is anxious about, and they're like, all right, you guys want to fight back? Cool. All these people are gonna die.
Sure, but that really even only happens in like Mockingjay, is when like all that stuff happens.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but like this was like a statement by the Capitol to be like, you all better watch out.
Like I understand the necessity of this movie. Like obviously you need a point from like Hunger Games to Mockingjay, right?
Yeah.
Like you need a point for like the rebellion to start, and like I understand the point of this movie. It's just so boring and just so dragged out. Like by the end of it, I was just like, there's like 10 minutes. There's like 10 minutes of it, like finally leading up to what it is, and then it's just like, it's just boring. It's like, why did I watch all of this?
I enjoyed it. I like the whole puzzle version.
Short story.
I like the whole puzzle aspect of like the last like arena and them like figuring it out. I love the two characters. Those two older characters, Virus and BT. I think they're awesome. I think
I like them.
BT's like,
I mean, yeah, I like them. They're cool.
I really like the actor BT. I think he's awesome. He was also in what's it called?
Westworld.
Yeah, Westworld. He was awesome in that. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I can't disagree more. I love this movie. I don't love it, but I think it's the best one out of this series.
Yeah. One nitpick I have about this that just like to me just sat like the whole time. For some reason, like I don't really remember having this feeling in the first one, and not really the second one, because the second one they just kind of become like a military. But or not the second one, the
third one, the last movie.
Yeah, but the Peacekeepers are so like what is it called? They're not scary to me. They don't seem like intimidating.
Sure.
When I watch them like roll out, I'm just like, they don't seem like they have, I don't know, like the feeling that I get in other shows where I'm like, oh, this like government like rules their people and like through intimidation, but intimidation that they don't even need to like say or show. This one just like feels weird because they're always like,
it seems forced.
Yeah, like the tone is not the tone, I guess. I don't know. They're like do what I say. Like in the beginning, there was like an uprising against the Capitol, and now like the people in the Capitol like are like, oh, we're here to help the people.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want to be like those people who like didn't want help and then like, you know, died because of it and like whatever. They're like, we're here to help the people, and at the same time they just like shoot people in the face like right in front of everyone, which is like so clearly not for the people. But then they try to like, there's like a large group of people. I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't know how to.
I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying. I think, but I think that's kind of the point of them. But I also understand. I definitely agree with your point that like they don't
seem scary to me.
No. I don't know if they're supposed to either, but like they just feel kind of wimpy, and their whole like their presence or like their imposed presence feels very forced and not real.
Yeah.
Like when the one guy is this, I think it's in this movie in Catching Fire, when Gale is like whipped or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That dude just like, I was like, so y'all were like kind of chill before and now you're not? Or like what? I remember excuse me. I remember in the story that, and they also mentioned it, that they would like sell like wild game to like the Peacekeepers. So even though they weren't supposed to or something like that. So I don't know if it was like the local ones that were always in District 12 were like more chill, and then they just kind of brought in new ones. But I don't know. I feel like they're supposed to be like military police, but then just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of understand what you're saying though. When they like, I don't know, rolled in, it was like, oh, something's happening, but you don't get that feeling of like, like a stormtrooper,
Yeah.
like rolling up.
Yeah, like it's just like bored. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
They're mad. They're gonna come over and like shut down the black market, and like it just seems like super forced. Like as you said, I don't know. Also, the scene in the beginning with to me, I feel like this is just me. The scene with Snow and Katniss in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah.
Snow just does not seem intimidating at all. I don't know. Like after that scene happened, I was just kind of thinking about it, and I was like, I feel like he just didn't. Maybe it was just I don't know what it was. Maybe it was bad writing. Maybe it was just like kind of like I don't think it was poor acting really, but I just didn't really feel like Snow like gripped that scene like they wanted him to. Like they really wanted him to be like this like calm, but also at the same time like controlling like the conversation and like
the situation,
everything that's happening. Yeah, like he's a calm presence, but at the same time like you know that there's like an unspoken power behind him that like he controls what's happening in front of him at all times. But just like during that conversation and that interaction, I just felt like he was just so unintimidating. I don't know. Maybe that was just I don't know why I thought that, but I just feel like
I don't know. I kind of understand what you're saying. I think he played a pretty decent actor. I don't know. I can't necessarily speak exactly to that scene, but from what I remember, it was like I don't know. I feel like they just tried to like kind of relay the impression that like he's not gonna be like super in your face about like I control everything, but a little bit more subtle. Like you better watch out because I got a lot of power behind me. But I kind of understand what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe I'm just watching too much Narcos and I have like Pablo Escobar type style in my head. Like that dude, like he's like I mean, just talking about that show. That's an example. Like he's super calm, but you know that he owns half of Colombia.
Yeah.
Like
when you're done with that show, go read his whole Wikipedia page. It's so whack. Yeah. It's crazy.
He's crazy. But like that's what I'm talking. Like the power there, and that, or like something like that, where like he can be calm in a conversation, but like you know, if he like starts getting frustrated, or like what he's saying is like if you cross what he's saying, like he's gonna get mad. I don't feel this in Snow, where like Snow is the leader of like the only civilization that we know of, basically. Like these are just the people, not even like of a country or like a little province of town. This is like the civilization of people.
Yeah.
That like he's in charge of, and like, he just doesn't like hold that much power in for some reason. I don't know. That was just a feeling I got. But again, that's just like a nitpick. This is my feeling of it.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I understand what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree with them. Oh!
Mockingjay.
Chapter 3.
The closing, the dragged on closing of this trilogy.
I thought this movie was kind of a waste of time. I think they definitely could have taken the last two movies and made them one.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't even remember the book being that much longer than the other two. But I don't know. Even like the second, let's just take both movies, just Mockingjay in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember being excited to watch them just to like finish the series. But like when I watch them like post, them coming out, obviously. After I get through 2, I'm just like, all right, I'm kind of done. I'm gonna finish them, but like, I'm kind of mentally checked out.
Yeah, it's just like.
All right, so really quick synapse. Basically, once they grab Katniss from the games and she figures out they don't have PETA, they try to get her to be like the poster model of the new rebellion as the quote Mockingjay. And she doesn't want to unless they go and rescue PETA. In the meantime, PETA is in the capital. I don't remember if they really. I think they explain it after, but they don't ever really like show it or talk about it really. But he's basically just being tortured and like brainwashed, basically.
You get that right at the end of the first one.
You do, right?
Yeah, I mean, like even before they save him, he's like skinny in one of like the propaganda things that they show that kind of looks like he's malnourished.
Yeah, he just looks terrible. They don't. I remember in the book they what's the word? They like actually like talk about what's going on and like describe it and things like that. Whereas in the movie, you kind of like you just see it through like the propaganda videos that he's been doing, And then at the very end, but yeah, basically in the background, he's still a prisoner of the Capitol, even though like on the TV they make it seem like he's not. And yeah, they just kind of go around to different districts and shoot propaganda and stuff like that. They get into like a very minor battle in the first movie. I'm pretty sure when they go visit the hospital.
Yeah, but then Snow blows up the hospital.
Yeah.
As they leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like the introduction of Katniss getting into battle in real life, not in the Hunger Games. But like a lot of it is just like, I don't know. It's whatever. Second movie, they actually take the battle to the Capitol. They like invade the Capitol once they get Peeta back. Peeta has a crazy PTSD and like brainwashed and everything.
Like,
once they get him back, so he's basically on therapy. He like nearly breaks freaking Katniss's neck.
He was I think they said conditioned to like kill Katniss because like they did a mission to go save all like the captured people, but when they got there, there wasn't like a lot of people defending the place.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, what the heck? And then they realized like, oh, they wanted them to capture them because they wanted Peeta to kill Katniss.
Yeah,
which is just like, it honestly just feels like this one just feels like Hunger Games. I understand this is like a book and series for like kids and like teens and stuff. These last two movies just like hammer that nail in. Like it just feels like such lazy and easy writing. Like, oh, all of a sudden Peeta is brainwashed and now he has to like.
It's funny because they didn't even
come up with like a medicine.
Yeah, it's funny because they didn't even diverge from the story. Honestly, in any of the movies, like a crazy amount, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
First off, because I hate it when they take a book that's like a pretty good series or a pretty good book and actually destroy the movie or destroy the story in the movie. It's so garbage. I absolutely hate that. Honorable mention to Aragon there because the book series is incredible. The movie is absolute garbage. So bad. Just dumpster fire of crap. Dude, it's so bad.
Oh, they did. Oh my god.
I was like legitimately mad that they made the movie because it was so terrible. They like ruined. They absolutely ruined the story. It was so terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I remember the movie.
But I even remember in like with this movie series, they really didn't do that, which is nice. But at the same time, they just dragged it out, which is really the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It just felt like.
I really liked.
Honestly, the last.
Yeah.
Go. No, you go.
You're so ugly with that. Did I finish talking about the second movie? They invade the Capitol. The Capitol, like, basically, has like an evacuation order to get everyone out of the outskirts where they're like invading or like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they like basically booby trap all the way up to the President Snow's like quarters, like the center of the Capitol or whatever. And in the end, big stuff happens.
All the people rebel. So all the people of the Capitol rebel against Snow and capture him because Snow starts like killing a bunch of innocent people, as like threats, being like, yeah, like if you like, I mean, he blows up the hospital. He bombs District 12 completely. That was, I mean, beforehand. And he starts like killing a bunch of innocent people just to get to them, and then the people like turn against Snow. And then later at the end of the movie, it's like hinted at. I don't know if it's like solidified like this is actually what happened, or it's more like this probably happened. But it was like the people of District 13, like the chick, the new person, was the one committing those terrorist attacks to make themselves look better and Snow look worse. So it's kind of like a back thing. I don't know if she did all of them, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I
know that she did the one at the end when they were trying to get into like the I don't know what you call it, the White House, or like the equivalent of the White House.
The Capitol.
Yeah. She like firebombed like all those people trying to get in. Do you remember that part at the end?
Yeah.
They thought it was Snow, but like when she goes and meet with when Katniss goes to meet with Snow, he's like, yeah, that wasn't me, by the way. That was actually like your
Yeah,
president.
that's what it was.
So at the end, she like when she's gonna shoot Snow, she shoots her, which was sick. I loved that.
It was cool.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh,
it's
I hated her
basically-
so much. So happy.
I like that.
Even in the
I
book,
like
I was
that
like, heck
twist
yeah,
of,
let's
like,
go.
Yeah, I like that twist of like her kind of becoming Snow because like that lady suggests to have like a final Hunger Games of like the top people again. So basically, like start doing what Snow was doing in what they were fighting against in the first place.
I
So, like,
really
that's, like,
like
kind of
that.
cool and
I like that a lot
interesting.
because it just like showed
Yeah.
like, hey, this is still human nature. Y'all are dumb.
Yeah, I like that, but yeah, the leading up is quite boring to be honest. I feel like one thing about, especially like maybe I'm forgetting the first one, but these like last three, the beginning is so boring and slow, just for like a lot to happen. No, two, but also even Catching Fire, including Catching Fire. Yeah, it's just so slow, just for the ending to be like the main point of the story. But it's like, why was like the beginning is so like they have value to it, but it's just so like
I think it's
you're just dragging me on for like an hour and a half for like a 20-minute finale that actually like wrapped up the story.
I think it's really
Like-
felt in the last two movies because they split a book into two movies that I
Yeah,
I don't think they needed to.
Yeah.
I can't really. I'm trying to think of like any other series that it's done that. I mean, I guess you could argue The Hobbit because they took one book and made three movies, but even that, like,
Yeah,
I mean, some parts felt long, but they never really felt like, all right, I'm so bored right now. Can we like hurry up?
yeah,
Whereas this, like this last movie, it was just. Or you could talk about Harry Potter. The last book they split up into two movies.
Yeah,
There was like some in that one, but not nearly to the point of this. I mean, you could still, in my opinion, every Harry Potter movie could probably cut out like half an hour because they're all way too long. But
Yeah.
I'm never really like I don't necessarily finish the movie. I'm just be like, why did I waste like half of my time watching this? You know what I mean? Like half of the movie, I'm just wasting my time because like nothing's happening.
Yeah. That's how I felt with these.
Whereas in these
like,
last two movies, it's like y'all clearly just went for a money play. Like the only reason why you made two is just for more cash. Like, there's no point. In the first movie, you could cut it in half. The second movie, maybe cut it in 2/3. Keep 2/3 of it, keep one half, and make it like a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. It's a little longer, but like, it's not garbage.
Yeah.
Like, they're not necessarily bad movies. They're just kind of boring for like a solid, let's be kind and say a third of the movie.
Yeah.
I won't even say half.
Like,
let's just say a third. It's just like, why am I here? Like, this is so boring.
I think the story is there, especially like the book. Like, I think the book story wise was good.
Yeah.
And the story was obviously there, and they did it well in the first one. And also, like, the acting was there. Like, they had a lot of good actors and like big names in these.
They did it well in the
like,
second one. The second movie, they also took basically straight from the book and made the movie. You may not like the story, but they did the same. The third movie,
I think the execution a lot of the time was lacking of how to execute these like books into movies, and it just felt like it was like rehearsing the same thing over and over. Like, oh, Katniss is still in love with Peeta. Okay, like I don't know, like Katniss is still having PTSD from Hunger Games. All right, like you don't have to give me like eight shots of her waking up screaming. Like, let's go, let's move on.
In the last
Also,
movie,
like,
you're saying?
Yeah, just in every movie. I mean, like, yeah, the second one and then the third one's like they just did it in both, where it's like, I understand that she has this. You're just bringing up like the same scene multiple times, and it adds nothing to it. Like, it's.
I don't know if I
just, like, the
necessarily
same thing.
agree with that, but I don't know. I just
my 2 cents.
I just feel like the last movies, the last two, were just like super drawn out for almost no reason other than just to make more cash and to fill 2 hours of time. Not to say that like bad stories, they just took too long.
Yeah, I agree with that, and then I also add that to Catching Fire, but that is where we part ways.
No,
because Catching Fire was boring.
Nah, dog, nah. The second one was good.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite one.
No.
Yeah. All right. So as a whole, Isaac, what would you give this like series? Did you like it? Did you not?
Series?
Are you not a fan? Are you a fan? Are you going to
give it a
watch it again someday?
I'll watch it again in 5 years, like I did this time. I need to forget these movies and I'm not going to rewatch them.
Yeah, I feel.
This is a good series. I mean, I feel like honestly, probably everybody's seen it. It's just one of those movies that most people have seen at least the first one. Like,
and you saw it like 5 years ago. It's like that type of series.
Yeah. It's just like everybody knows the series and has seen it. Just like once you rewatch it again, I feel like rewatching it for a second time, like past the hype of it, you're just like, ooh, these movies aren't that good.
They're not like bad. They're just like
no, yeah.
They're
you
fine.
see the tiny flaws that I think add up to kind of be like a lot at the end. Like
at the end, it's like
flaws in a movie that don't like. You can have flaws in a movie, and especially a trilogy that really like don't amount to much. But I think especially this one, like all the things stack up on each other and just amount to a pretty mediocre last two movies.
Yeah, I get that.
I think all in all, this trilogy is like. I feel like a 7.6 in my book, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say like a 7.4, 7.5, 7.4. I don't know. They're not bad. I think if you haven't seen them, definitely watch them. Somehow, if you haven't seen them, but they're definitely like like you watch the series like once and then you wait like 5 years to watch it again.
Yeah. It's like Avatar.
No, you watch that movie once and then you wait 15 years for the next one to come out is what happens.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the series. I thought the books were super good from what I remember. I thought they follow the books, which I really appreciate, as I said before. Some, like we've said, obviously that some of the parts are a little slow, but overall it's not bad. If you haven't seen it, obviously watch it. Maybe if you haven't watched it for a while, give it a rewatch. And yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. I enjoyed watching them again because I hadn't seen them for a while. But then after I was done, I was like, I'm good. For a while, I'm good.
Yeah, for a while.
So
I don't know. Yeah, especially I feel like once you get the older you get, you're just like, I don't know. The story is just like not there for me anymore. It's just not as interesting or captivating.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's just for like a very large audience. It captures a lot of people.
Sure.
And so like, especially younger people. So it can't be like that intricate, you know?
Sure.
But maybe that's just me being a
snob.
Pretentious, yeah.
Yeah. Very pretentious.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Trying to think if I have anything else to say. I don't really know. I don't think so. You have anything else to say, Isaac?
No, I got nothing else to say on this trilogy.
Well, it was a good one. Should we?
Actually, there is a scene. I have one thing to say. There's a scene where she's getting snow for Gale when he gets whipped, and she takes the bowl. So she goes outside with a bowl and takes snow instead of like grabbing it with her hands and putting it in the bowl. She tries to scoop it like a shovel, and I just wrote it down as nitpick. I was like, that made me mad that she was doing that. I don't know. It literally is nothing, but it just made me upset when she was doing that.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's my last comment. I just remember that now.
I don't even remember what you're talking about, but okay.
If you watch it, then you'll see it. Should
we announce what we're talking about next week, or should we wait?
No, it's a secret, Thomas.
All right, we're gonna wait.
I like leaving them in mystery.
Yeah. So that was our show. If you guys want to see some more, obviously hit that subscribe button down below so you can see more things coming to your sub box. If you've seen the movies, let us know down below what you thought. If you agree with us, if you don't, and obviously like the video if you haven't already. Yeah. Without further ado, obviously follow our socials. Not that we've posted anything on them yet, but we will very soon. Yeah. Without further ado, that is Isaac.
Yeah.
I'm Thomas. We are the Brothers on Air. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday.
See ya. Peace.